Oh my god, it's just like like a graduation. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they're jumping. Yeah, and it's like faded. Yeah, you got sat next to
I have it designated. I didn't realize. They set up. I don't have to worry about showing the presentation themselves,
Hey y'all, we're gonna go ahead and start. It's 4:55. We have lots to do tonight. Super exciting. I'm gonna do a little bit of housekeeping. So, reminder that Forum next week is in Monroe 610. We're doing what to expect for reviews. So for the freshmen through juniors, we're having reviews in May. I would like the seniors to be there, please. You're gonna give some words of wisdom and some feedback about the reviews. So next Wednesday, everyone, for Forum. Adobe, I just wanna remind everybody, I don't know if I shouted this out, I'm gonna send an email, but we have an elective this summer. One's gonna be offered summer 1 online, summer 2 is on ground. It's gonna be Adobe Boot Camp. So if any of you need an elective and you wanna get better at the Adobe software, please take this class. Rushing is teaching it. The photo design class, you all know that next semester the photo design class is offered for freshmen only, and I know some people are a little upset about it. So if I can get 9 people to sign up for a new class, then I can make another class run. But if not, then we'll have it in the spring, and I promise I'll make it the time that's good for you. If you want to take photo design next semester, send me an email and say, I want to take photo design, and I can take it at the exact time you're giving it, and then we will try to hire another faculty to teach that class. So there's going to be two options. It's either going to run in the fall, another section, or in the spring, and really for upperclassmen. So next semester, the photo design class is for the freshman experience. We are changing the curriculum a little bit. This week, next week, let's support each other. This is an awesome time for our seniors and our juniors and our faculty, and so much stuff's going on in our area and in the school. So let's really, I'm exhausted. I don't know about you all. Y'all exhausted? We're all tired. This happens every year for us faculty. It's exhausting. I know y'all are exhausted. For the seniors, you've done a lot of work, but if we can just all finish strong, coming to see everyone's work, not including us, but the juniors and even the film students. So I have up here Capstone opening tomorrow. You all know that. You're going to see presentations tonight, and then we're going to walk over and see the show all together, and your QR code will be in the gallery. So we're going to do that tonight. But I want you all to come tomorrow night and supporting the seniors. The opening is from 5 to 7. You should all be there, even though you went tonight. You're going tomorrow night. There's going to be music. There's going to be a lot of companies and people and faculty, and you all need to be there to support the seniors. The SCD award ceremony is Tuesday, April 23rd. Please come there. It's really important that we have designers in the house, right? So there'll be communication students and film students, and it's really great if we can all come there and support each other. The film senior capstone screening is at Broad Theater on Sunday. It's free. You should try to go. It's Sunday, April 21st. I think it's from 1 to 6 p.m. If you can't come for the whole time, come for some of the time. You get to see the Motion 3 students did the movie titles. You can come support them. It's going to be a great event. Earth Week is next week. Please support the collective. Buy some clothes, 4 to 7 p.m. in the Palm Court. Bring cash because they're not going to have Venmo or anything. And then Earth Week, please check out the awesome work from interactive design students and with faculty Lena Lee. So the awards, these are the people you're going to be supporting on April 23rd. It's 12:30, Music Communication Building 402. This is in the Dana Center. Go find it and go inside there. There's a lot of interactive stuff to celebrate. And this is some of the clothes that you can purchase on Earth Day, Monday, at Palm Court. So thank you. Is that all for housekeeping?
The QR code for this forum's attendance will be in the gallery.
I said that. Yes, okay. Yay.
All right, guys, thank you for coming. So I'm gonna give you a very brief overview that what we are doing for the Capstone show. All right, so that's our thing. So theme of this year was the iteration. So just thank you for joining us today. So as we prepare for the big showcase tomorrow, we are very excited, and we have this opportunity to just preview the incredible work that awaits us, right? So as a member of the UX faculties, I just want to mention that this is the first year that we are graduating our UX majors. Yeah, and I'm really excited about all the diversity, innovation they contribute to the Capstone projects. And, I believe our program gets better and, the stronger each year. So, so today's showcase is a testament to your hard work and dedications. So, to all of our seniors, Scott and I, also all the design faculty, we are very proud of you. So you have navigated the exceptionally challenging time with the resilience and creativity, and also to our juniors, yeah, who will soon step into the senior shoes. So you have incredible examples. So hopefully you can get inspired and learn from them. Okay, and then just please enjoy the presentation and the impressive work our students have put forth, and let's celebrate their achievement. Ace.
Okay. Hello there. My name is Ace McConnell. My capstone project is a book titled Making and Mending. Up on this screen, you're going to see 3 examples of adult art activity books. One thing that you might notice that they all have in common is that they all look really bad. That was kind of the focus of my capstone. A lack of concise, well-designed, and cognitively and creatively stimulating art resources for adults and, in particular, the elderly. You see, there's like a lot of things that you see in like old folks' homes. They don't really have a lot of opportunities for just stimulating activities. That was part of my research. I don't know. I'm really nervous. So, okay, I'm sorry. Moving right on. The way that I solved this was by making a kind of art therapy inspired collage book. Each chapter features a different hemisphere of the brain, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, cerebellum, and temporal lobe, kind of to tie in the fact that art is so intrinsically tied in with our minds, our emotions, our thinking processes, and things like that. Each chapter features 3 different prompts, all of which have to do with the specialties of each hemisphere of the brain. For example, the frontal lobe collages are personality, problem solving, and abstract. Those have to do with, the fact that the frontal lobe has to do with your personality, your feelings and likes and dislikes, your capability of problem solving, and also abstract thought. The first collage in each chapter also has an example, just to kind of get the ball rolling, because this is a beginner-friendly book. But the rest of them are just sort of unmarked so that you can really take the creative reins. If I were to take this project further, I would delve deeper into the research aspect of this, with art therapy and things like that. Specifically, I would try and go the avenue of making this a product for people with Alzheimer's. I would also probably tune up the binding and production. I used a 3-ring binder method and sort of a clamshell outer, just because it's a great way of storing your materials. You can take things out and add things in. You can add your own supplies, but yeah. And then adding in-book resources so that you don't have to just use your own stuff like old magazines, and making example collages for each prompt instead of just the first one. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Giselle Barraza, interactive design major. Thank you for the shout out. So we are saying goodbye to boring traveling guidebooks and hello to a vibrant world of flavors all at your fingertips. So my problem is that I feel that I love to travel as anyone does, and when you're visiting these new places, there is a lack of immersive and innovative use of technology when it comes to traveling. And if all of y'all know, New Orleans is big on preservation and its historic realm. And so I wanted to give a new twist to the city of New Orleans. So my design solution was combining augmented reality design, geolocation features such as location-based AR, and the infamous culinary dishes that New Orleans has to offer by creating a city-scale AR food experience. So my audience are travelers and locals alike. This was my inspo for my inspo board. Yes, we have some 3D food scans, infographics with AR technology, and this was a mock-up that I originally made. And so for my first AR experience, I created an interactive, immersive game in the French Quarter called Where's the King Cake Baby, where it would be featuring location-based AR, where you get to use a geolocation, things like Snapchat, and be able to play games and find the king cake baby. And the beignets there are 3D scanned that I did myself. Unfortunately, king cakes were out of season. And then I hope y'all are eating crawfish this spring. If not, here is a how to boil crawfish AR experience that we can have at the cookout or just at a small little museum game. And yes, it's an instructional experience. And for my last one, it is a 3D scan food presentation that would be used for an AR menu because, you know, there's already QR codes at most of these restaurants, so might as well pull out the iPad for the iPad kids and let them play with their food before their first bite of food. So I believe we are not only revolutionizing tourism as well as transforming the way you experience a city's culture by falling in love with its cuisine before your first bite. So yes. Yeah. There we go, Ella.
All right, I'm Ella Balhoff, and my project is Buoy, a search and rescue water app. So everyone around here, if you grew up around here, you're no strangers to floods and hurricanes and stuff. And when those things happen, you know that 911 and emergency services can't get to everybody, so it's up to the community to help rescue people. And so my solution to that is to create an app where people who need to be rescued can get in contact with people who have boats, trucks, and stuff, and who are willing to help rescue people in these disaster circumstances. And it will also connect these people who can rescue to the people who need to be rescued. Here's my inspiration. I looked at a bunch of apps with weather, emergency services, a walkie-talkie app, Apple's emergency SOS. And here were my initial wireframes. These were for the side of the app that you can get a rescue from. These were the wireframes for if you're going to rescue people, much more in depth and more of a traditional app structure than the rescuee side of the app. This was my final Figma file. Last time I counted, it was 234 frames and components, and I added more since then. Lots of connections. And here are some screens from my final prototype. So if you want to mess around with it, you can come to the gallery and try it on iPad or on your own phone. So thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Molly Mitchell and my capstone project is called Cher's Closet. It's a fashion app that's based on the famous movie Clueless that helps you organize and style your clothes. My app is a fashion-focused styling app that's mainly about the Y2K aesthetic and organizing your clothes and helps people decide what they want to wear in the morning. And here are some photos from the movie. And my inspiration was one of the scenes from Clueless when she is on the computer and choosing her outfit. And then here are some of the looks from the movie that I was inspired by and that I loved. As you can see, there's a bunch of playful colors and pastel colors and plaid that I incorporated into my app. And then I started off doing a bunch of research, making a bunch of mood boards, and then I started off with sketches and did my wireframes on Figma. And then here's my high fidelity prototype at the bottom of the screen, and then here's just a bunch of my iterations. and different font iterations and everything. And then this is my final prototype, and that's my final logo. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Jada, and my capstone is about West African folktales. So, reading, of course, is a very fundamental skill. We all need it. It's very pivotal for us in our daily lives and just going forth. So, I thought that I would challenge myself to tackle the issue of young people, particularly 10 to 12-year-olds, who are not as interested in reading. So, I came across this book as I was searching for a book to use to just already revolutionize, because I didn't have time to obviously make my own book. So I came across this book, and it roughly had like 58 West African folktales. So I chose 8, and I just focused on really enhancing them and making them more immersive and visually appealing for said audience. Because reading should be fun, not boring. I enjoy reading, and I feel like other people can too if it is done right and designed right. So the key features for my capstone involve an AI generated videos using the pre-existing illustrations within the book, which you'll see as I am showing like a video flipping through the original content that I use. And then my capstone will have some quiz elements, which after each story, it'll give you the possibility to quiz yourself to see how well you read the story and how well you comprehended it, or you can skip to the next story if you don't feel like it. And I have an AI questioning feature, which would allow the user to ask real in-time questions verbally as they're going through the content. And yeah, in summary, I will be revolutionizing the West African folktales book into a more immersive, visually appealing content.
Hello. Oh my God, loud. So I'm Ryder, and my project was The Mystery of Mr. Mint, which is a multimedia project that aims to... Hi, I'm Ryder, and my project is The Mystery of Mr. Mint, which is a multimedia project which aims to bring social political commentary to a lore-driven narrative, whether that's through music, the illustration, or the interactive activity that is all packaged into this. I did a lot of music work for this, one of which I'm still working on for the show tomorrow, but most of the music I did was for the interactive activity itself, and the music will be released into an EP at the end, which is where the bulk of the story will be taking place. For designing the characters that are in this story, they went through a lot of kind of different models and phases and stuff, and I had to cut stuff and add more stuff, and it was a bunch of fun. So that's just like some sketchbook stuff, I guess. How many times can you say stuff? I then proceeded to do some of the actual ink work. The inks you see on the bottom are asset creation for the interactive activity, which you can play later today, and the inks on top are what the illustrations were before they are what they are now. That's just a couple of screenshots of the prototype that I built within Figma for my interactive activity, and one of the asset folders that I have, because there's a lot of assets that I had to make, a lot. And that's it. In the future, I want this to be much bigger. I'm gonna have more illustrations, again, a musical EP, maybe more interactive activities, a few animations. I want to put it into comics as well, and that's what I'm all about. So that's my scene. I don't know.
Wait, it's Katrina? Oh. Okay, yeah. No,
Hi, I'm Katrina, and my project is called Fear of Failure. You can barely see it. It's an illustration series that portrays my personal experience with feelings of inadequacy and creative paralysis. I started the semester with a totally different project, but I found myself petrified at the thought of not being able to successfully create what I had envisioned. I was so afraid of the mere possibility of failure that it felt impossible to even try. Therefore, I decided to tackle that feeling head on by illustrating it. Many people, especially artists and designers, deal with fears and anxieties that are lethal to creativity. And it's my hope that by sharing my own experience, it can encourage dialogue and personal reflection surrounding creative fear. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so I guess I just hit next. All right, here, I'm Jet McAdams, and I like board games, and I like card games, I like tabletop games. I made one for this project. Yeah, so this is a music-themed card game, and the basic idea is that you're taking various cards that each represent a real-world song, and you're trying to arrange them into a playlist by matching the different colored sides, and also trying to collect matching symbols as well. So I went through multiple drafts, as did everyone else. So this is the first one I did. I just scribbled some stuff on some loose leaf paper and photographed it. And then I started working in Illustrator, and I made these drafts. Some variations to try to find which one would be a good starting layout. And I also started, as you can see on the left, I started. I briefly considered making up songs for this project, but that would have been tedious and unnecessary, so I didn't. And I also made some symbols that you had to collect, basically. And made some variations, made some more versions, tinkered around with it. Specifically, experiment with the idea of having the gradient be at the bottom of the card so that it's easier to tell which way is right side up. And then that eventually evolved into my final draft, which looks like this. And I printed both a previous draft and this draft, and they'll both be at the exhibit. So, and this is a playable game, and I'll teach you the rules when we go to the exhibit. So yeah, what I want to do, if I had more time, expansion packs, themed cards, which would give bonus points based off specific criteria. Same thing for abilities for each player. And then also a little marketplace system where you could buy cards instead of just drawing them out from a deck. So yeah. All right.
Hi, my name is Manu. And my capstone project is Boriga Nostalgia, a mobile interactive space fostering intergenerational connections through the exploration of Puerto Rican childhood experiences. In Puerto Rico, there used to be numerous spaces dedicated to children's enjoyment that have since disappeared due to a lack of interest and resources from our government. My project seeks to raise awareness about these special places that I cherished in my youth and share my personal connection and experiences with them. My initiative involves a mobile interactive space that focuses on Puerto Rican childhood experiences. It's an intergenerational space designed for adults to reconnect with their inner child and for kids to be kids. So for my inspiration, La Tiendita, which translates to the market, is one of the many places kids would go to during or after school to get their snacks and candies for really cheap. They used to be in every corner of every town, municipality, and now they barely exist. And so I found this girl from back home who revitalized the concept of La Tiendita by creating a mobile pop-up shop where she sells all the snacks and sweets we indulged as children. Her project really inspired me because she not only rekindled nostalgic memories for those who frequented La Tiendita as children, but also preserved the essence of this cultural institution for younger generations to experience and cherish. I pivoted a lot when it came to the design and arrangement of my display. I wanted to create something that would be informative and educational, but also evoke the nostalgic feelings I get when I think about the things I got to experience when I was growing up in Puerto Rico. And as my capstone project revolves around the display itself, rather than the specific product, I tried not to give away too much, so you can see for yourselves in tomorrow's show. And so here are some sneak peeks. And finally, I'd like to thank Mila Gutierrez, Patricia Cabrera, Daniel Garces, and Adriana Salcedo for staying up late hours, doing a lot of labor for me to make this display exactly how I imagined it. And I seriously wouldn't done it without y'all. Thank you.
Is it on already? Oh, it's gonna die. I'm using this. Oh, okay, what's up? I'm Kaya. And for my project, I branded a streetwear fashion line. The problem I wanted to tackle was that a lot of established fashion brands don't really show you the process behind their final pieces or what it took to get to the designs that they come up with. We rarely get to see how some of our favorite pieces came to be. So my way of tackling that was to come up with a brand that has a mission to reveal the process behind that, kind of displaying sketches, iterations, any type of materials, or all the steps that it took for me to get to the final piece. This is a piece of my process, how I show that I was working in a sketchbook, drawing out my ideas. I also used stencils to design my clothing with spray paint, which will be on display on the wall. But this is how I got there. And then I just did a bunch of research. I looked at other brands to see how I could go about doing mine differently in terms of showing the crowd what they don't normally get to see. Yeah. I don't have many pictures of my project because they're going to be on the wall, but that's the general idea. That's it.
Hello, I am Lila, and this is my project Meditator. Meditator is an immersive, interactive meditation experience, and I have a brief demo video for you. So as you can see above, these are the different features that my AR scene includes. There's the option to change the mode from night to day. You can add rain, you can add birds, you can add butterflies, and then there's a few different sound options.
Each breath, release all your thoughts. Focus on the way the breath makes you feel. Ground yourself.
All right, so in the age of productivity, it can be difficult to cultivate true mindfulness and relaxation. So with my project, I aim to promote relaxation and mindfulness through augmented reality and projection. And here's a brief sneak peek into my exhibition space that you will get to see in a few minutes.
Hi, my name is Alma, for those of you guys that don't know me. So my project is called the Gracious Object Photo Project. The project objective, what I was trying to solve, an emotion that I'm trying to fulfill, is the need to consume. Obviously, this is not a problem that I can solve by myself, but the first step for me would be a way to celebrate the abundance of ways that our spaces and our things serve us, not as an incentive to buy more stuff, but to redefine how we think about the things that we already have and therefore how we take care of them. So my project is like a designification of some of the ideas that I read in these two books. This one right here, Braiding Sweetgrass, is like it's like a collection of indigenous stories, and one of the stories goes into like how when we anthropomorphize nature, how it's not only like a cultural practice but a pragmatic one that helps us just innately take better care of our things. When we humanize plants, when we humanize nature, we are more compelled to take care of them. So I did that, but with our things and with our spaces. And this one is just like about the perversion of consumerism and capitalism and all of that. I'm talking really fast because we do not have that much time, but that is what's happening. So yeah, my capstone is gonna be like a collection of photographic sets that illustrate the objects and spaces of different people through semi-stage portraiture and still life photography. I'm gonna create an ode to people's things with the focus on use, history, and individuality. The process looked a lot like me very humbly asking people within the program and my friends to enter their spaces and get my grimy little hands on all of their favorite things. It was really, really fun. I was nervous at first because it is a really intimate thing, but I had a lot of fun. And then, you know, behind the scenes, there was a lot of photo editing because there was just a lot of photo editing. And yeah, tonight you're gonna see my exhibition, which is gonna be a little recreation of my favorite space, which is my living room. And you're gonna be able to sit in that chair. And it's gonna be fun. That is it. Sorry.
Hi everyone, so my name is Emma and this is Voxel, my senior capstone project. You may remember that I spoke at the study abroad forum about my study abroad experience, and I kind of touched on my capstone topic, which is basically a continuation of a paper that I did when I was abroad in England about women in art history, especially in contemporary art spaces. I learned about an artist who had a really tragic life story. You can read about her in my book at my exhibit, Pauline Bautier. And I wrote a really long paper on this, and it kind of just lit a fire in me in the way that women are represented in art museums, art spaces, galleries throughout art history and contemporary art today. So to do this, I researched and I wrote all of the content inside my zine. Here's my process. I spent probably way too many hours to even explain in the zine file. And essentially, I just listed a lot of different women artists that are constantly hailed as forgotten. If you look up any articles of these women from museums like the Tate and contemporary art museums, they constantly label them as, oh, we're doing this is a forgotten woman artist. So I wanted to list all these artists and give them a space that would potentially be a permanent space in art museums or exhibits and galleries where they could be there and constantly be rotating so people could educate themselves on these artists rather than them just being hailed as forgotten and then they get pushed away. So you can see the exhibit once we go to the gallery, but this is just a little sneak peek of my book that I wrote and that I fully designed. The typefaces in this, it is pretty much primarily Mr. Eves, which is a typeface designed by a woman. So that's also a really important design element. But yeah, I'm excited to show you guys, so thank you.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Madison, and my capstone is called Visualis. So today, you know many things, and especially in the live performance industry, DJs especially, but do you know what a VJ is? Basically, everything's been moving very digital now at times, and this can also translate to the idea of live performance and what plays behind somebody who is singing and performing. So I designed a company that will create one-of-a-kind and unique visual experiences in live time. So my process was making clips in Illustrator and making them move in After Effects and then translating them into a program called VDMX, which is a live video software. Then I adjusted every effect to the MIDI controller you can see on the right, which is controlling how the clips are projected onto the screen. And the next slide is just a couple of compositions that I was able to create. With putting all of these different types of video clips together, I was able to do different type studies to overall turn these old clips into something completely new. And so, for example, someone would hire me to do this for someone's performance. I have a video projected. It has 2 songs that are mixed together, presented on a wall in the gallery, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out.
Oh. Okay, there we go. Okay, hi, my name is Sam. My project is called Closed Loop. It's a sustainable and ethical fashion brand that I handmade and branded. So Closed Loop reimagines the current fashion industry by putting longevity and reusability at the forefront rather than impermanence and disposability. So the problem that I'm tackling is the fact that our current fashion industry operates linearly, as does our economy, and so I'm aiming to reconstruct the industry with a circular model, keeping clothes extending their life cycle. So my research took several different forms, but the inspiration at the root of it came back to the anti-capitalist book of fashion that basically instilled that previous notion I was talking about. I also took inspiration from ateliers, fashion designers, exhibit designers, and tactile zines to drive home my mission of being resourceful and inventive and intentional rather than looking for the next thing to buy, as we have been trained to do. So my process was all over the place. I had a lot to do, starting with making a brand identity and then a logo. I made woven labels, hang tags, shopping bags, and then my final zine. So this is a glimpse. It's a little more than a glimpse, as I'm realizing now. But come to the gallery and see the rest. Also, I will be selling my pop-up shop at future art markets, so it will be available to purchase in the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Maria Sanchez, and my capstone project is Madria. It's a stencil type. So I want to create a better system for bilingual design. So I decided to create a type specimen book that also shows off Puerto Rican typography. Here's some of my inspiration. I couldn't fit it all to one slide because it was a lot. And here's a little prototype of my type specimen book. So come to the show and check it out. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maggie Bachman. My project is an app called InkLink that helps you find the right tattoo. So nobody wants to look like this. People get tattoos that they later regret, or they want a tattoo and don't know what to get. My solution to this problem was to create an app that is meant to help people throughout their tattoo journey. It features a customizable user profile to help match you with artists in your area that specialize in your desired style. It also includes a gallery of images of different tattoo styles, as well as a camera feature to project those designs onto your skin. My main reason for making this project is my lifelong dream of becoming a tattoo artist. Above were two of my biggest inspirations of other apps that helped inspire me. One of them projects tattoo designs onto your skin, and one of them helps you find tattoo artists, but they both have a lot of problems, so I tried to solve those. Here's my process. Lots of sketches, lots of really bad wireframes. And here's some screens for my final prototype that you guys can come and test at the show tonight. Yeah, that's it.
Hey y'all, I'm Joseph, and my capstone project is called Addressing Accessibility, and the goal is to bridge the gap between accessibility and aesthetics when it comes to address wayfinding markers. The key issue is that addresses are very ubiquitous and required for a lot of services such as postal and city services, but oftentimes they're pretty hard to find, especially for people with visual impairments. My approach for this is a ceramic tile design, focusing on type and accessibility. On the right here, you can see some of my type process as well as my production process underneath. And that GIF is just kind of going through from the original typeface, which I started with, to my final custom typeface. Here are some of my final prototypes, which you'll be able to see at the show. These can be mounted in cement on tile backer board or can be drilled into a wall, depending on the customer's needs. And then the end caps of the tiles are a modular system, which allows for enhanced customizability. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Sorry. So I'm Jada, and the name of my project is called Pink Paper. Pink Paper is a collective I wanted to create. So I created it for the sake of this modern phenomenon of creative fields where people of color, especially in the creative industry, are included. Like, there's diversity and inclusion, but the inclusion isn't hitting. When we talk to people, especially creatives who are of color, it's typically a weird feeling of feeling like you're still being singled out. So for my capstone, I wanted to do the art direction of a promotional short film, a brand campaign, and a magazine. Some of my inspirations were things like Fairy Tales by Petra Collins and Alexa Demi, the Night Sport ad for Nike, you guys should check that out. These are a lot of campaigns that featured highly graphic elements like style, artistry, and even fictitious stories, and kind of blending it all together, which is something I wanted to do. My process. If you saw me walking around doing something random, no you didn't. I was filming a lot of random stuff to try to get this feeling of I'm telling a story. These are my iterations of the logo, my storyboards, me filming and art directing, and my friends doing free work for me. Love you guys. Then for my prototype, I wanted to feature a short little clip, and also that's the cover of the magazine I did. How would I could just click it, cool. It's very short, okay. And then do I, oh. I think I need pink paper. What? And you have to see the rest of the show. So you have to see the rest of the show. Hope you enjoy, and thank you all for listening. I think I messed it up.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Claudia, and and for my capstone project, I want to be focusing on culture and connection through sound. So my project is called Garifuna, Sounds of Resistance, and it's about an analog and interactive installation that gives visibility to the reality of one of the richest groups in culture of all Honduras history. So I don't have that much process to show, but I really was inspired by activism and art and kind of mixed them together. So I have a insanely amount of mood boards and sketches, but this was the one that really motivated me the most. And it's all with the purpose of trying to spread awareness of the indigenous groups' reality in different Latin American countries. So if you've been in the interactive room the past weeks, you may recognize this. So this is a digital sketch for my installation where you'll be able to touch and you will create a connection through sound, focusing on environment, language, and music of this amazing culture. And I hope this. Yeah, that's a little of the sounds you'll be able to connect with for my installation. And this is close to my final product, but I hope you'll be able to interact more with this culture and yeah, and just learn more about it. So thank you.
All right, hello, my name is Robbie, and my project is Behind the Front, which is a mental health support and awareness campaign for student athletes. So the problem is student athletes have standards and expectations placed upon them that are often unrealistic and can lead to levels of stress, sorry, didn't have the mic close to my face, of stress and anxiety that they're not equipped to handle. And in addition, the resources catered towards these student athletes are often insufficient, outdated, and just plain out, just bland and boring. So the inspiration behind my project are actually my teammates, friends, family, and myself who have all experienced their own struggles with mental health. And through these struggles, I've come to learn those who are close to me have also had their own battles with mental health. And I want to be able to help the future classes of student athletes with their own struggles and have the resources they need to be able to just power through and just better themselves for the future. My process is very all over the place, which was how my brain felt during this project. My process began with research into the current mental health resources catered towards student athletes, as well as looking into what others have done and finding other athletes that have become advocates for mental health. This research turned into pages of notes and ideas that just flooded my sketchbook and eventually made its way onto Illustrator artboards. My solution is a campaign that begins with an Instagram account. More and more posts are being created, and the more feedback I get from these posts, the more I can help cater to what these student athletes need. An established color palette and typeface designed to easily digest information without overwhelming those seeking to help. The big point was simple and quick forms of information for them to digest without them just seeing black type on a white screen. And providing information and seeing other student athletes viewers can relate to is what the account revolves around. Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for your time and the support. So your QR code is at the library. Yeah, so we are gonna go to the gallery now. So, hey.